Hi class, the objective of this tutorial is to teach you how to draw the car chassis so that it is ready for laser cutting on our laser cutter. To do this, you will need to download the car chassis template from Moodle or have this shared to you in your Google Classroom. To begin, you must open the car chassis template. You will see that this is the sample and what yours could look like if you choose to do this design. I will take you through step by step of how to create this type of chassis using Adobe Illustrator. Your car chassis template will be clear. There will only be a surrounding box which you can see in red. It is now highlighted in blue because I have moved the cursor over the top. To begin drawing, you must click on the outside box. You will then notice that the colour is now red and the stroke size is now 0.03, which means that you are ready to begin drawing. To do this, you need to have your car chassis template page with you so that you can see all measurements required. Now to begin, we use our drawing tools on the left-hand side of our page. If you can't see the drawing tools, you need to get your teacher to show you where they are found. You can also click on the Window tab at the top here and ensure that the button here, Tools, is ticked. If that is ticked, your tools should appear on the left. If not, tick that button and your tools will appear. To begin, I want you to select the Line Segment tool. You click on that, it then gives you the crosshairs, and anytime you move near a line, you will get a green leader helping you to find where you need to draw. To do our first line, I want you to move your cursor down towards that corner box. You'll notice that a few words appear. You've got intersect, you have camber, and you also have anchor, which is now shown. When you see the word anchor, you can click. The first line we are going to do is a line going across our page. Okay? The line going across our page is 17 millimeters. You type in 17, you press tab, and then you'll see the angle here. You can use your cursor to change the angle, but what we need to see is a 0 degree angle. So type in 0 and press tab. You will then see that both of these have changed. To draw that line, you now press OK. And you'll see now that there's a little blue line and two little blue boxes. That represents the first line that you've drawn. Then what I would like you to do is do the same on the other side. So have it change to anchor, make sure your line segment tool is loaded, click, you've got 17 still there, now just change the angle. So if you know the angle, it should be 180. And then you press tab and then click OK. You'll now notice that you have both of these lines ready to go. And these lines that we've drawn represent the width of our wheels. Now to draw the length of our wheels, we're going to draw the complete line. So we're going to, again, click once it says anchor, but then going to click, and this time I want you to hold the mouse key down and I want you to drag towards the bottom. Now you notice that if my line isn't perfectly straight, it will have a little crink in it. If it has a crink in it, to get it out, hold the shift key down while you're dragging. As you get towards the bottom, it'll say intersect. You can then let go of your mouse and your shift key. You'll now see that we have a nice long line. To see the colour, you press on the cursor key, which is your selection tool up on the left here. You can click anywhere on the page and then you'll notice that we now have that red line. Now to do this line again, we click on the line segment tool. We're going to get that word to say anchor, just as it does there, and I'll zoom in so that you can see that. Now to zoom in, you hit Command and the plus key. You'll notice now that I get close, the word anchor appears. Again, you can hold your mouse key down, hold the shift button and go towards the bottom. Again, once it says intersect, you can let go of the mouse and let go of shift. The next line that we are going to draw is our space down from the front of our chassis. This time, again like we did before, we're going to load the line segment tool. We're going to go to the corner. We're going to click. Now you want to give yourself some space. For the tutorial, I'm just using a space of 15 millimeters. The angle will be 270 degrees. I then hit OK. Now from this tool, I want to take a line all the way across that drawing.
Thanks for your backup with the spark. So you know now I'm online.
Yeah, no worries,
Are you
buddy.
free at recess or lunch today?
Recess I'm on duty at the front,
Oh, yeah.
but lunch I'm free.
Cool. Yeah. Just going to see how many kids turn up from our meetings last week, just a follow-up meeting today.
And is that in the same room again?
Same room. You can probably pop in one duty.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good. Okay, so now that I have done this line going across, I want to work out my spacing. Now, if you have a look at your sheet, you'll see that your spacing for the front wheels is 60 millimeters. Again, like we've done before, I want you to click on anchor. This time I want you to change that measurement to 60 millimeters, and you're going to make it go to the 270 degree, which is vertically down. Tab, and then OK. You'll now see that your line appears. You can again click and drag, holding the shift key to make it sure it's nice and straight and parallel. You can then let go when you're on the other side. Now this time we're going to start from the bottom. So I want you to click on the corner. If you remember that measurement from before, it was 15 millimeters. We're then going to go straight up, which should be 90 millimeters. If you're not sure, you can click somewhere in the circle that's close to the direction you want to go. It will then give you the measurement close to it. Hit tab, then OK, and you'll see that that little line has been drawn. Click, drag across to the right. You'll notice that it's a bit wiggly. Holding the shift key to get it nice and straight. Then you can let go when you're on the other side. Now this time it's a little bit different. We're going to draw two separate lines because we need one at 60 millimeters. We also need one at 80 millimeters, which allows for the motor. So you're going to click. This time you're going to do 60 millimeters. We know from the previous line that it was 90 degrees. We can now hit OK, and there's our line. This time, click and drag across. Have it say intersect, make sure it's nice and straight. This time, from the other side, you're now going to type in the 80, tab, 90, tab, then OK. You'll now be able to click on this side, holding the shift key down, drag across to intersect, and then let go of your mouse. Now you'll notice that we have lots of extra lines. We now need to start to delete some of those lines, because if we don't, we'll end up with just this rectangle in the middle. Okay, so to do that, there are two ways. We can click on the selection tool, then click on that main outside box and hit delete. Now that will delete some of the lines, but not all of the lines. So Command Z to get that line back. Then what we're going to do is we're just going to make some cuts. So to do some cutting, what you need to do is go and have a look at this eraser tool. Okay, you need to hold the eraser tool down so that it gives you this extra drop down menu. I want you to click on the scissors tool. Then I want you to go and select the lines that we're going to trim. Now on this line here where it says path, I want you to click on that line. I want you to do the same on the other side here. I then want you to scroll up to the top of this line, and I want you to do exactly the same at the top. And we're going to do it at the top here. Then I want you to do the same below this wheel. And again below this wheel. Now what we can do is go back to the selection tool. We can now choose some of those lines and delete. So we're going to go to the top. We're going to delete that line. We're going to go to the top there and delete that line. You'll notice that we've got a little bit extra here, and if I zoom in, you'll be able to see that clearer. So we have a little bit extra here. I can actually click on that one and then resize it. And do the same on this one, click and resize, just pulling it down. These extra lines that we did before, we can also delete. So this little line here we can delete, and you can do that around the rest of your drawing. We also need to delete this part of the line in the middle. So again, you load your scissor tool, you click on that part there where it says path, on the right hand side where it says path, use your selection tool, and this time we're only going to delete the middle. Same again as before, we can resize that line, we can resize that line. Now you'll see that this chassis is starting to take shape. We're then going to go down and do exactly the same process for all of these other lines, using the same scissor tool. Now just remember, you can pause this at any time and go on as soon as you have finished that part. Click, and we're going to delete. You're going to resize. We want to resize that line, so we're going to pull that one down. We're going to resize that line and take that one up. Going to do the same here, and we're going to resize that line down, and we're going to resize that line up. Now you notice that the space here between the wheels is smaller, and that's going to allow us for our motor to be glued onto our chassis here, and a little extra pulley wheel to sit in this position. You need to have that space set at 80. If you haven't set that space, or you've put your wheels too close together, this could cause a problem when we come to putting the whole car together. Now you need to go to the bottom, and you need to get rid of any of those extra lines that you've got on the bottom. I still need to cut that one. So path, using the scissors tool, going back, having my selection tool, click on that and delete. Again, move your anchor lines. Make sure they stay straight. If you're not sure, hold the shift key. And now you'll notice that our chassis is almost complete. There are a couple of things that we need to add. One, we need to add our name to our chassis. Two, we also need to do some shaping if we like. Now at this point, the shaping can stay standard. You don't have to have a shape to it, but you can choose to put a shape in if you like. Now to do a shape, you just need to hold down your line segment tool, and that will show you some of the other types of lines that we can do in our drawing. The line that you might want to do is an arc tool. So you're going to go up and choose arc. You're then going to choose a point within that space at the top. If you see a space that you want to use, you then click and you drag towards that shape. Now I would drag it towards the outside of my shape. To do the same on the other side, notice that when I have my mouse close to the right position and it's parallel to the other side, you'll see the green line, which indicates that you're parallel or in the same position. I'm then going to click I'm going to get that to line up with the other part of my wheel, and then I'm going to let go. Now I can go and do that down the bottom, and again remember to get rid of these extra bits you can use your scissors tool. However, it's not necessary in this one because they will naturally cut that shape out and just leave the curve for you. If you would like to do other shapes, then it's just a matter of drawing using your line segment tool. So if you were to have a front end loader, then you might want to draw a series of straight lines to allow for that digging motion of a front end loader. Totally up to you how this looks. This is part of your design process, part of your design practice. Just remembering that whatever you draw in red will be cut out. Now the final thing is to do our name. To do that, we're going to go to the text or the type tool. You're going to click on that. Now remember, any tool that you want to use must be pressed and it must turn grey. To then do that, you're going to move your typing tool into the space. Don't have it on a line because it will draw on the line. We want it up in a space. Anything that you do, you can undo by pressing Command and Z. Click within that space. You can then write your name. You can change the size. So you want it to fill as much of that space as possible. Using your selection tool up in the left here again, we now click and we're able to drag that into position. And where you want that is in the front part of your chassis, so that whenever you do any gluing, you're going to glue your wheels across here. You're going to glue your motor in this position, and you're going to glue your wheels down in the bottom position here. Now the only other thing is that you need a line going across for where your wheels are going to go. The good thing is that we've got this text in black, and if it doesn't come up in black, you need to make sure that this box up in the top left here is black. If not, drop down menu, choose the RGB black, and then your text will be the right colour. This time we need to go and choose the line tool, and because we've done our text in black, our line is going to be black, which is exactly what we want to do. And with this line, we want it to intersect, so we want it to be right in the middle of our wheels. So this first one, we're going to have it intersect, and we've got the green there, which allows us to get in the right position of the inside part of the wheel. So you're going to click, you're going to drag, you're going to hold shift, and then when you get to the other wheel, you let go. This time, because we've got two wheels that are different sizes, we want to ensure that we draw off this second or this smaller wheel, okay? So we want to intersect this line here. So we need it to say intersect here, not up here where it's intersecting with our other wheel on the right. So intersect on the left wheel, again click, drag to the right, holding your shift key to make sure it's straight, and then let go. Now you'll notice there's no colour. So when I click off the page, it looks like those lines aren't there. But as you can see, when I hover over those two lines, they will appear, or at least look like they are there. You click on that line, you go down to the bottom, you hold your shift key and click on the other line. You'll then see this, which it just indicates you've selected those two lines. We can now go up to the top here, and we're going to change that one to black, so that on the right, and again, we want that weighting. This time, we can leave that weighting at 1 point. We can now click anywhere in our page, and you'll see that there are two nice black lines. When we take this to the laser printer or the laser cutter will know that those black lines are engraved lines and will just engrave. They will not cut. Once you have your drawing at this stage, you can save your drawing and Google share it with your classroom teacher. To do this, you need to go to File at the top. You need to click Save As, which is halfway down that drop-down menu. When the dialog box opens, you want to give the car chassis template your name. I'm then going to save this to my desktop, and you'll see that there on the left. I need to make sure that it's an Adobe Illustrator format. I then hit save. It will give you another open menu. Don't worry about the version. The teacher can change the version control if they need to. You just need to hit OK. What you'll see then is that when you close this window, your car chassis template will be on your desktop. Now again, there is my car chassis template. You must now upload this to your Google Drive and then share that with your teacher.